If you are currently experiencing a network down issue, please pause this video and call Meraki Support at 1-415-937-6671. And be sure to have your Meraki customer number, where we could find under Help, Get Help. Still need help? Call the Meraki Support team, and your Meraki Support number will be right under the phone number. Let's talk about Meraki TAC and best ways to engage us when you have an issue. So we like to keep things pretty simple here at Meraki. So a little overview of our support system here. At Meraki, we have 24/7 support with various options of how to connect with us as well. You could always call us by phone number, and this is recommended for severity 1 or 2 cases. And we'll go over what that means here in a minute when I say severity 1, 2, 3, and 4. But essentially, call into support if there's something urgent, high priority that we need answers to immediately, or if you have a network down issue. From a dashboard perspective, we could also submit a case via the dashboard or via email. We do this for severity 3 or 4 cases, 3 being general support, maybe troubleshooting that isn't a critical issue in the dashboard that doesn't have network degradation, or a 4 case, which may be just a question that we have that might not be reflected well in documentation. Additionally, we also have web services as well, and we'll go to each one of these pages and show you exactly what you get there. Moral of the story here is that we have a very rich online documentation that's very easy to search as well. We also have a very active community too of people who may be experiencing a similar challenge that you have and may be able to help answer a question before engaging with Meraki Support. Now let's go into a little bit of best practices. So in terms of defining severity levels, let's go through the list here. Severity 1 is essentially a network down issue. Let's say that we have clients that are reporting that they can no longer access resources on the internet. They can no longer connect to the network, and we're not seeing anything appear on the dashboard. Now, of course, this is where we should, of course, engage Meraki Support via phone call. Severity 2, also when we have network degradation. So let's say that the network is still online, but for instance, a customer can't access resources because they can't get a DHCP address. Something like that. We can engage Meraki Support 2 by calling in as well. Of course, severity 3 and 4, perhaps minor impacts, general troubleshooting, right? So let's say that we have experiencing performance or operational error. Maybe we need help with something that may be around configuration that's leading to a support issue. So this is something that we would definitely call or submit a case via dashboard. And then of course there are those questions that we may have that are general questions that we could get an answer back in a couple days or so. Those are ones that we could of course submit a case via the dashboard. So let's talk about exactly how we should engage with support when we're submitting a case. Even if we're calling in to Meraki Support, I think some of the best practices that we could do is also submit a case at the same time. And the reason for this is because we start that paper trail of things that our network support engineers will need to be able to troubleshoot cases, as well as being able to upload packet captures, etc. on your environment. So, of course, some things that we should include in our emails is network name and MCN, if we have those things handy, of course. Serial numbers of the devices being impacted. Perhaps the install site where they're located. A network URL works well as well with this. And of course, a detailed description of the issue, what users are experiencing, troubleshooting steps that have been taken thus far, and results of those actions. The more specific we get, the better our support experience is going to be up front. And of course, logs. We could easily capture logs in a dashboard. I'll show you where to do that from a Meraki perspective. But any information that we could provide our engineers as well is always going to be greatly recommended for us to do. Now, the first page I have open here is the Meraki support page, meraki.com/support. This is where we could view our documentation, our policies, and our processes for Meraki if you are interested. This page here is the Meraki Community site. Now, we could easily register and sign in, create an account, but we could always search via our product lines exactly what people are talking about. And perhaps maybe these are things that you could also search. Perhaps you're looking for some information on IPSK. And in searching this, of course, we could find people who are using IPSK as well, and some questions and answers that they may have with this. Of course, the next page here is our documentation, documentation.meraki.com. Here is our one-stop shop for all things documentation related with Meraki. Now, for instance, I could go into MS Switches, and you'll see that there's a whole bunch of different categories in which I could search for Meraki switching as well, and we could see essentially any documentation guides that we have as well. Additionally, we could also search in the top column, and let's do Meraki Sentry, and here you will find all articles here regarding Meraki Sentry. Our last page, of course, is status.meraki.net, and what this shows is basically the status of all of our servers across the world. Essentially, if you're experiencing issues connecting to the Meraki dashboard, it might be good to browse this page and see if there are any reports of incidences across our data centers. Now, going to my dashboard here, let me show you where we could submit a case directly from the dashboard. If I were to go to Help, Get Help, Meraki is going to steer us a course for looking at documentation for our products. If we also need help, we could submit an email case here. And this is where, of course, we could create the case. We could even pin a specific device that we might be having an issue with as well, and a description, of course, of how to help. Of course, we could call the Meraki support team. As this is a demo account, I don't have a Meraki customer number, but you will have a Meraki customer number in which you could enter when Meraki support asks you. Of course, the great thing about Meraki support is that the first person that you connect to is trained full stack Meraki to be able to help you troubleshoot. So as soon as you call into support, the first person that you actually talk to on the phone will be someone who could help you troubleshoot directly. Now, going back to the dashboard really fast, let me just show you really quickly how to get packet captures. If we were to go to network-wide packet capture, we could either take packet captures from all of our devices, for instance, for access points, or we could get a specific access point as well and take a packet capture. And this is something that will be able to be saved on your tab in your downloads. And of course, you'll be able to upload it into our support case as well. Also keep in mind in our devices, we have a tools tab as well, just like this MS-120. We could ping devices, reboot, etc., MTR, cable tests, etc. So we have tools on the dashboard, of course, to help you troubleshoot as well. Last thing to note, keep in mind everything that I spoke about as well applies for licensing. If you have a question or problem with licensing, keep in mind we have dedicated engineers who are responsible just for licensing who could help you through the same methods that we spoke about throughout this whole video. So that's about it for Meraki and how to engage with support. Let us know down below if you have any questions. Thank you and have a great day.